So if near-death experiences and this shared death experience, and all the things you've gone through is not enough, and as you've said, you're now becoming a channel. So can you explain to the audience how your channeling is, what's your process to channel, and how do you like energetically deal with it as it comes in?
Okay, first of all, they have now called themselves the wisdom keepers of lost civilizations. And their reason for being here at this time is to guide younger generations so that they can avoid the fate of these lost civilizations. And they come through me specifically as a grandmother figure to these people, a loving grandmother figure, as opposed to somebody of their own age whom they may or may not trust to say these things. And
Mm.
so that's why I was chosen and why I'm doing it at this time. The way that it works for me, they're here all the time. And these voices that I've heard throughout my life telling people what they need to hear is actually them. But I was not quite ready then for it to be full-blown channeling. So
Mhm.
how I do it now is they're here all the time. I speak to them like my friends because they're always here and ask them all sorts of questions. But when I'm doing it for someone else, or if I'm doing it publicly, I will close my eyes because the words come through clearer to me that way. I will probably not remember it. I may remember bits and pieces, or I may remember the gist of something, but I will not remember exactly what they said unless I go back and watch the tape.
How did you handle the energy? Because from my understanding, there is a priming period, if you will, because if not, you can short circuit the board,
Yeah.
as they say.
And I think I'm still going through some of that. After I channel, I usually, if it's a long channel or a deep channel, I will get, for a while, I get really super energized. And then I kind of go, and I have to rest.
Those are both technical terms, by the way. Very scientific. Very scientific. But we all know what that means. You're like, "Zzz," and so I'll translate. You get very energetic, you get a lot of hyped up, and then you have a crash. So it's basically
Yes.
you're taking 4 or 5 espressos, and then you just completely crash on a sugar and a caffeine crash,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
But you're
Something like
getting,
that.
but you're getting a little bit better. You're getting a little bit more optimized, if you will, to be able to handle these kind of channels.
I am, and I can still feel it sometimes physically, especially my feet tingle, uh, and my legs will tingle. Uh, but I also know that I have been being prepared for this for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
And so they have had a lot of time to get my body ready to do this. So it's maybe not as maybe severe as some of the others who've learned, you are a channel, you're doing this now, and we're going to, it's going to
And
be
we're
a crash
off.
course.
And we're
Yes.
off. Yeah,
So it's a little
that's
easier.
as you've been saying, as you've been talking, what was coming to me was like she's probably being prepared physically because you've gone through so many of these experiences and your death experience, shared death experiences. That does change the wiring, if you will, and the capability spiritually of you handling certain energies. So that makes a lot of sense because you're not 21 and you're just like, hey, you're going to channel now, and you're like, no, okay, gotta. But that is something really important for people to understand. When you are channeling, there is this kind of period where you need to prepare the body to handle this flow of information and flow of energy because it can very much like a kundalini awakening. If you're not ready, it can it could just fry you.
Absolutely. And I don't want to be fried. And they don't want me to be fried. The message is too important and it needs to get out in this time. And as you said, my vintage does not bode well for lasting, a long time. I've got a very short time to do what I can now. So I think they knew that was part of the plan, the blueprint, if you will, the whole time.
So you mentioned that when you signed up for this interview, things started to kind of go into hyperdrive a little bit because they were like, "Uh-oh, we got a window here. Let's get her ready." Is that true?
That is absolutely true. And they have been so looking forward to talking with you.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, if you can't, so to explain it one more time to the audience, if what's going to happen when you channel, and then have them come in, we'll ask a couple questions, and it's a little, as a little bonus channeling in a near-death experience episode. So I appreciate that.
So what I will do is I will go quiet for just a moment and give them the reins, so to speak, and then I will step back and they will come through. And
Okay.
so it'll be just, it's very short, easy. You'll notice the difference.
To watch the full video, click on the link below, and don't forget to subscribe.